project was able to fund a lot of the ideas that came from the low carbon zone and that the sustainability group really wanted to implement, but the low carbon zone funding couldn't match that. So really it's just given this whole new boost to the low carbon zone. Well, straight away the key one was installation of solar PV on community roofs. So this whole idea of Energy being a community-owned renewable company, where the incentives from the government's new feed-in tariff would be able to be recirculated back into the community. It was a kind of a brainchild of the sustainability group, and that was their big focus, because they saw that long term it would be so fruitful for the whole community, because it had that money drip feeding back in. We were really fortunate to have was that one member of the sustainability group was actually a teacher at one of the schools in the area, so he had quite a few ideas for what we could do with schools, and that's been where Energy have led on the renewables in the community. The council have really led on renewables in schools. We approached 3 schools to install solar photovoltaic arrays on their roofs. And again, in the same kind of way that Energy are using the income to then feed it back into the community, we're using the income from the schools projects to feed back into other schools around the borough. So they both have this really nice cycle to them. By using the schools, it's such a great tool to reach the parents and the residents. As an engagement, it's probably one of the most valuable areas. It's allowed us to reach a far greater audience. So we don't see this as just putting solar panels onto their roof. We see this as an ongoing partnership between our team and the school. And in terms of the successes so far, I would say that is one of the biggest ones for me.
We've made a very, very important decision in respect of what we need to prioritise in terms of reducing the carbon zone output. And that is that the concentration needs to be mainly on insulation to start with. The challenges are Victorian housing, because it's over 100 years old, and it's very drafty and very cold and very expensive to insulate properly. I think it's totally achievable. 20% reduction by 2012, I think that's a piece of cake, as long as we're proactive and forward thinking and we work together.
It's certainly Haringey Council policy to try and maximise public consultation to really get residents' opinions on projects that we're running. And like we've said, in terms of the project will fail if we don't get a large number of residents involved and interested in it. We could probably have not done public consultation and gone out and delivered things really quickly. And certain things would have happened sooner and probably would be further advanced than they are now. But again, they were doing a much greater risk that we'd have done something that wasn't going to be popular, wasn't going to get taken up. In terms of innovation through the low carbon zones, if we can show how you can deliver micro renewable energy on homes, or even energy saving measures on homes, without impacting on the conservation area status, and being able to get planning permission for those things, and that's a real key learning for the project.